We. Hold on. Welcome, 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 welcome. This is a glorious, magnificent, amazing NFL 2026 free agency reaction. We are on the heels of one of the most amazing, outstanding free agencies of all time. Now, normally I would be here with my co hosts, but we just couldn't do it with one Dolphin fan. We needed two. So it is with my glorious ado that the first person that we bring into the building is the astounding, the amazing, the inarguable, true Blazer in the building. True. Go on, brother. Welcome to have you on this glorious free agent reaction show today, my brother. I'm
No,
so happy to have you, brother.
I appreciate you reaching out, saying, "Come on." Obviously, like you said, a big day in Dolphin history, right?
Big,
You know what I mean?
ginormous day in Dolphin
A
history.
big day.
Ginormous day in
I
Dolphin
mean,
history.
yeah. So, I
And
mean, but
no. And I was gonna say, and the other person that we're gonna bring in to discuss all of this free agency madness, the greatest co-host in the world, the astounding, the all-time great Dolphin fan himself, the man who's been tortured for far too long. Rod Man is in the building. Let's go.
What's going on, y'all? Another day in Dolphin Paradise.
Another day in Dolphins paradise. Listen, we're gonna be quite frank with you guys. The NFL lied to us. We thought free agency was gonna be on Wednesday. We planned to do a live reaction show on Wednesday because that's the legal day for free agency. But the NFL and all of these news websites and all of these places and these outlets were like, hey, let's work together and just completely lie and just have free agency on Monday. So you guys have news to talk about on a slow Monday. This is crazy. This is insane. Now,
They couldn't wait.
they couldn't wait. I'm going to be honest with you. When I saw Alex Pierce get all that money, I said, okay. When I seen Wandale Robinson get 50 M's, I was like,
hey,
all right. But when I seen Tua Tagovailoa got released, I was like, okay, we might have to, do a show today. And then the bombshell, the nuclear bomb got dropped on my head. Not to make light of what's going on in Iran, but Malik Willis signed with the Miami Dolphins officially. And I was like, Rod, true, we got to do a show today, man. So you see Rod is in the place. Shout out to Rod. We have our fourth co-host in the building as well, bro. So shout out to the fire alarm. You feel me? All the OG heads know about the fire alarm. You will hit a fire alarm because, hey, the show must go on. When craziness happens, you got to deal with the crazy.
everybody came
Guys,
through, right?
dude, I'm out of breath. I'm going to let the Dolphins fans talk, bro. So, True, you haven't been on a while, man. The floor is yours. How has it been with this 2026 free agency for you as a Dolphins fan,
I
man?
mean, obviously, the release of Tua. That's what personally I've been waiting for. It's the writing's been on the wall with that, right? And
Absolutely.
it's not, I rooted for him. He's the quarterback of my team. You know what I mean? And there's no hate. But if just being objectively true, right? It is what it is. Like he just wasn't, he wasn't that dude. And it's sad that we wasted 6 years of this, right? 6 years, and it's okay. You got rid of the GM, you got rid of some scouting dudes who've been there for 20 years. The coach, that was just the final piece to the puzzle. It's business, right? So he's getting paid handsomely to move on. They're going to eat a large amount of cap, but for me, when I saw that, what I like about this new group of guys, and they still got a lot to prove, but there's no BS, right? They're making stuff. They're making their moves that they feel is the right thing to do, and I co-sign what they're doing. And that was the biggest fin in the pond that they had to move off from. So that's what starts, with what happened today. So, and then obviously the signing of
And Malik Willis.
yeah, I didn't see that one come. Like what? No, this is a
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah, that was
But
crazy. That was
but
crazy.
that to me that was the highlight for sure. But
Rod,
No, man. I mean, listen, Herbie. It's funny because the Tua era came to a disappointing and just terrible end, right? And amongst Dolphin fans, there's a saying that goes, "We started with tank for Tua, and we
Word.
ended with tank with Tua." Right? Like how we started is how it ended.
Full circle, right?
But I do. Before I get to the Malik Willis thing, I do want to say this when it comes to Tua, Herbie. I'm not one for revisionist history. Y'all know I'm not one of these people. There's a lot of people online who will have takes and they pray that you never dig them up to find them. I've always been
Right.
open about my
Absolutely.
Tua support. Right. I was riding with Tua up until the beginning of last season. Right. If you wanted to call me a Tua near, I was never Tua Anon. Those guys were something different. Those guys were something. I'm always Dolphins first. But you know
Right.
what I mean? Considering his first 2 years under Flores, they didn't get along. Considering the promise at times he showed under McDaniel the first 2 years, even with dealing with injuries, whether it was him or the team. I do want to say, Herbie, that it is unfortunate that with the concussions, with Tua's just overall body breaking down, it's just unfortunate that things came to the end that they did. And I will stand by, saying that he was the best quarterback we had since Marino, which doesn't mean much. Like comparing, you could actually throw his name with a bunch of other guys, right? You could throw Tannehill in there. If you tell me Jake Fiedler, I'm sorry, I hate you. Okay, I don't want to hear Jake Fiedler, all right? But look, Herbie, Tua had to go, right? And I seen some Dolphin fans were upset that, oh, we didn't get anything for Tua. Do you guys think that the Dolphins GM and the brass was just sitting back thinking like, oh yeah, we're just gonna release him? Of course they were trying to trade for Tua.
Of course, they were trying to trade for him.
Be for real. Nobody was going to trade for him. So, of course, they had to release him. And you know, one thing, and to your point, True, one thing that I do like about this regime is that they're standing on business. Athlete and Sullivan have been consistent in saying that they were going to get a guy in free agency, that they want to draft a guy, right? Because these are two guys that come from an organization that we seen they had back to back, possibly three back to back great quarterbacks. Jordan Love has a lot to prove. I won't say he's great, but he's been good. He's good, right? When he's healthy. So this is a franchise that has seen this level of team building up close. People are complaining about the Malik Willis contract. We'll get to that when we get to Malik Willis.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Look, man, Herbie, Tua had to go. I'm happy that he's going to be able to be in Atlanta where he's going to have a job. Even though, bro, I find it hilarious that Atlanta decided to have two injury-prone left-handed quarterbacks. That's
Dog.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Like,
that
why would
that
you do that? Why?
that is crazy. That is crazy. So let me go ahead and get this up, man. I want to go ahead and get a picture of Tua and look at this guy, man. This is like I want to say bye to Tua in the proper way, right? A lot of people are happy to see him go. A lot of people are relieved that he's not on the team. A lot of people are happy that this is finally the beginning of a new chapter for Dolphin fandom. However, we could get our jokes off, and we will. We're gonna get our jokes off. That's just what we do on this show. If this is your first
Of
time,
course.
we're getting our jokes off. But at the same time, I also want to take time to just say, you know what? It didn't work out, and that's okay. Was a lot of time wasted? Absolutely. Was a lot of money wasted? Absolutely. Was a lot of resources wasted? Absolutely. But there's nothing you could do. You can't cry over spilled milk when the milk spills, right? Like it is what it is. And the guy at the very least wanted to be great for the Miami Dolphins. He wanted to be the best quarterback that the Miami Dolphins have had since Dan Marino. He put his life on the line multiple times. He fought against doctors' best wishes to continue to play football because he's a football player at heart. People wanted him to retire. His wife wanted him to retire. And he wanted to come back. You feel me? Because there was a desire to prove the people who believed in him at one point in time right. It ultimately didn't work out. It ultimately is for the best that he is no longer on his team, but he still deserves some type of flowers, man. So round of applause for Tua, man. Round of applause for Tua. Shout out to you, man. And that's all you getting, buddy. Bye-bye. Adios.
Peace.
Get him out of here.
Get ready. Get to
Peace.
stepping.
Aloha,
Get the
Like
Stephen.
Marty used to say, get to stepping.
Get the Stephen. All right?
Aloha
Listen,
means goodbye, right?
Listen, I could be happy for what you did for the team. I could be happy for the love that you had for this team, and I could be happy that your ass is gone. All right, two things could be true at the same time, man. So we are officially in the new era, guys. It's a new era, man. We are on the post Tua Dolphins. Now, the post Tua Dolphin does come with $99 million in dead cap. It is going to be a post June 1st delegation, which means that they're going to split that cap hit in 2 years. 67 the first year, 33 the next year. I don't know why they don't just get it done with at once, but then the bombshell happened. And then I was like, oh, that's why it's a post June 1st delegation, guys. So, guys, let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about this. Y'all signed Malik Willis. You guys signed Malik Willis. Me and Rod did a whole episode where we're like, yo, this has to be a smoke screen. This has to be, the Dolphins just have to be a negotiating tactic for Malik Willis to try to get more money, because it makes sense for the Dolphins to want to sign Malik Willis based off of who is in the Dolphins front office. However, there was one thing holding me back from actually thinking this, I would ever see this, is because I made the point, and I guess I'm wrong, clearly, that it does not make any sense to have all this dead cap and sign a bridge quarterback. You can't tank and try to play for the future at the same time. Bad teams do that. Bad regimes do that. Bad organizations do that because they don't want to commit to either side. I clearly had more faith in this regime than they deserve, because they did exactly what bad teams do. Try to have both feet in the pond. Try to dip both toes in the pond. Don't dip your toe in it, man. Go all the way. One way or the other. Go all the way. And this is a sign of a team that still can't bring themselves to do it. It financially does not make sense to go get Malik Willis when you have all of this dead cap space and you trade away all your good players. What do the Dolphins think through this regime? And I guess they have the hubris because they come from a team that is traditionally good at drafting. Or do they think they're going to go 100% in the draft? They're just going to hit everything in the draft? Rod?
I mean, listen, Herbie, I when it comes to Green Bay, I'll tell you how I felt when I seen this move, right? I might as well just get into it. When I saw that we signed Malik Willis, Herbie, I felt two ways about it. And actually the fan base is pretty split on it, right? On one hand, did I want to give this guy $22 million a year? Not really. But when you consider the deal that he got, I'm actually, when I looked at the breakdown, like the signing bonus, how much money he's going to make.
Yeah, it's only 45.
Yeah,
it's
only
five
45.
more. It's $5 more million than what Justin Fields got, and $15 more million than what he got guaranteed. Right. So it's basically the Justin deal. It's a, if you really want to get at it, it's a $22.5 million a year deal.
Right.
So financially, it's not that bad.
Right. But I think what it comes down to, Herbie, and I agree with your point on, if you're going to dip your toes in the water, you might as well just get all the way in the water, right? You might as well just jump in. What it seems to me, and this is how I'm trying to reason with it, because I don't want to jump the gun, right?
Yeah, of course, obviously.
This new regime, they're just getting started, and the Dolphins, given our history, any move that anybody has ever made has usually turned out badly. So and this is eerily similar to the type of moves that we have generally made. But I will say this. I can at least understand a little bit of the reasoning. And what I mean by that is, number one, Malik Willis, for what it's worth, Halfley and Sullivan, they know him. They spent 2 years. They've seen him in practice. Halfley's defense went against him when he was with the scout team. And for what it's worth, I know he only had 3 starts in Green Bay. And, this is like some Matt Flynn BS, right? Like, a guy getting paid off of either one great start or a few really good starts. But when you do look at the way he played in his 3 starts, he played well. And then you have to also factor these parts in too. Number one, I know I don't care how much you like or didn't like Tua. Everybody's happy to see a quarterback that's more athletic than them, right? Like I was like
Absolutely.
I can outrun Tua. That's one. Number two, I'll also say this when it comes to Malik Willis. On top of him being a mobile quarterback, he showed improvement because when he was with the Titans, man, it looked like he was a lost cause, right? Like we were ready to write him off, right? But under Green Bay, under Matt LaFleur, you know what I'm saying? It's not like we brought LaFleur over, which is a part of this, right? But under Matt LaFleur's tutelage, he looked like he could be a serviceable quarterback. He has a bigger arm than Tua does. He's
way
more
bigger
than Tua is.
Way more athletic.
So he presents some qualities that we were severely missing. And when you consider how bad this team is going to likely be next year, considering the way we've traded away key players from the previous regime, considering how historically bad our offensive line has been for a decade plus, I think what the Dolphins are doing, Herbie, in a weird way, is that even it might look like they're dipping their toes in both waters, but I think they're just trying to see if Malik could work, right? And the way it is, if Malik doesn't work out, we draft a quarterback in 2027. If it turns out that Malik is better, if he turns out to be the Black Sam Darnold, right? Which I'm not expecting that, trust me. But I think they're just rolling the dice when it comes to him. Do you pay $22 million a year to roll dice? Don't ask me. I ain't got money like that.
Okay, so go ahead, go because there's a couple things I want to respond to you specifically with Rod, but go ahead, True. Let's go ahead and get in.
I guess I'm a battered Dolphin fan because it's like, all right, we're going to try this again with another quarterback, and it's like, all right, short sample size,
very short,
but what like Rod says, athletic, can play. He played in cold weather. Like they got to go up to Buffalo or New England or up here where I'm at, up in Jersey. It's cold. Our guy couldn't do that. He can improvise. He's stockier. He's built stronger. So those are all good things. As far as the money goes, I mean, ain't my money, but you look at how it's constructed. They did it. What did I read? Something where he's like
$22 million signing bonus.
Right. Yeah. That, it's not a big hit against the first year. The second year is when you jump up in the cap. The third year, you can get rid of him and it doesn't cost you anything. Like Rod said, you draft somebody next year. I think this means they're not going to move a Waddle or an Achane because why do you bring him in?
Absolutely not.
Now you're going to, because you see the rumors, Achane, but
no, you don't do this unless you can keep those guys.
Correct. So, I mean, and I think it helps with this new regime. Like they're trying to build a winning culture. This isn't 2019. We're tanking type of stuff. This is just a different approach. And I believe that I've liked what these dudes have been doing. The GM spoke at the combine where Greer would hide from the media.
For sure. Absolutely.
These dudes have been real dudes just talking what they mean and standing on their business. So signing him, I'm like, short sample size. I can ride with it. I have no problem. If there is a competition, like they're saying competitions at every position, and yours beats him out, that's a problem.
Oh, it's not gonna happen.
I understand that.
Yeah, but it's not gonna happen. Like, but he would have to be a train wreck in camp.
I understand that.
Camp.
But if that happens,
it's bad.
No,
it's bad.
But I'm not mad at it. You know what? I'm not dogpiling on Tua, but this is a new start. I feel
this
fresh,
is an
man.
upgrade. This is an obvious upgrade.
Yeah, so I'm cool with it. Now whether it works.
Well, not everybody. It's funny, Herbie. Not everybody actually feel. I've seen because there's always people. Everybody.
Oh, come on! You're right. You're yanking my leg. Don't say what you're about to say,
bro.
Don't say what you're about to say.
I am in like 10 different Dolphin groups on Facebook.
You're unserious right now.
There are motherfuckers who are just like, yo, hey man, we signed somebody that's not even better than you.
You're being so unserious.
No, that's true. That is.
It has to be a lie. Okay, so let me rephrase my position on this, right? And I'm not saying that like you guys are. Mischaracterizing what I'm saying. That, you feel me? It's just for anybody who's watching, people who are gonna see this clip. I agree with everything you guys are saying in a vacuum. You feel me? He is an obvious upgrade. He has so much talent that is worth the look. He has a a familiarity with the coaching staff who went against him in practice every single day. They wouldn't want him unless they actually believed in him. They know way more than anybody else does. Your head coach had to game plan against him in practice. So he truly feels confident in Malik Willis. But my only trepidation stems from the fact that Malik Willis, in my opinion, is not good enough to overcome the limitations that the cap is going to put on the team for the next 2 years, literally.
That's fair. That's 100% fair.
No, for sure.
So that's why I think it's odd, because Malik Willis, for as good as he's looked, if you actually go through all of these 7 starts, and Kurt Warner did an incredible breakdown, he only had 28 dropbacks out of all of those. Everything else was either RPOs or design runs. He had 28 pure passing dropbacks, 28. He was really efficient when he passed the ball, but he didn't really pass the ball that much, right? So that is kind of scary. So if it's Tom Brady that you got for $22 million, Tom Brady could carry a bad offense. Tom Brady could make the surroundings better than what is available to him. I don't think Malik Willis can. Listen, if he is that dude, you got somebody for the Lowski, dog. You hit.
That's what the Dolphins I think that's the gamble the Dolphins are trying to take. I think before they go all in on a decision to draft a guy next year, because I think they're going to draft a guy this year too.
Yeah,
they said they have plans to draft a guy. They'll probably draft somebody late, like a 5th round pick, something like that, right? Just to see, right? But I think that's the plan, Herbie. I think what they're trying to do is we're going to see what we have in Malik. We're going to see exactly how high his ceiling goes. And if it's something that looks promising to the point of where we don't have to spend the money looking for a franchise quarterback, you got a guy for cheap. On the other hand, if it doesn't work out, depending on how the draft goes, depending on how Hafley's coaching is, there's tons of variables and factors at play. If it don't work out, we'll be bad enough to draft a promising young quarterback next year.
You'll be bad enough to draft somebody in the top 10. So and even then, Malik Willis is he won't be cheaper for that year, because it'll be 22 versus 7, depending on if he's in the top 10 or not. But he will be cheaper overall than giving somebody, a rookie, a 5-year, $35 million guaranteed contract, fully guaranteed.
Facts.
So,
but their win ceiling isn't that high this year, so it's not like you're signing him and now we're competing with the Pats and the Bills for.
But my whole thing is why get a guy to put him in a bad situation, potentially bad situation.
I understand that,
right? Because it's like, yes, you do have Devon Achane, but you don't have Devon Achane with Mike McDaniel's schemes, right? And Devon Achane is he's still really good. I'm not even taking nothing away from him, right? Like he might have been held back from Mike McDaniel. I think that's highly unlikely, based off of everybody who watched film. And even at Mike McDaniel's at his worst, he was still an incredible run game coordinator or run game designer. Like it wasn't always pretty, but he figured it out most times. And then you have a less explosive Jalen Waddle. You guys got to draft really well this year, man. You guys have to draft really well. And that's another reason why I just thought.
Isn't the bar set low? Who was drafting before? I mean.
Oh, 100%. Like you can't, bro, you could trip.
I'll roll the dice with these guys. What do I got to lose?
You could not take your foot off the floor and still trip over. That's how low the bar was based off of Chris Griffin. Like, you could moonwalk and still trip. That's how low the bar was.
You know what? I think I also thought, and you guys let me know what you think. I also thought that them signing Malik Willis was a testament to Sullivan saying, y'all watch. Like, I feel like they signed him I feel like he was probably a big part of a lot of the talent they drafted in Green Bay. And that's what's been said. That's what we hear. There's always good things that come out of new hires, right? When you hire a guy to tell you he was, Aaron Rodgers' best friend or Peyton Manning co-signed him, like Adam Gase, right? You always hear all the fuzzy good things, right? But I like Sullivan's confidence, man. I like Hafley's.
So do I.
I like their energy.
Yeah. They believe it, right?
I can say that.
They believe it. All right, that's a good thing to end it on. So let's just get over, and I wanted to get and just talk about free agency in general, right? Like this was on some NBA type ish, right? Like I thought me and Rob, we talked about it. We thought this was gonna be another run of the mill, boring free agency. There's so much money. The cap has went up so drastically, more than anybody ever expected, that these teams are in a position to where they have to spend the money or they have to drastically overpay to keep people or attract people, right? So we're going to get all of those scenarios on this list that I want to go ahead and react to. And this list is going to be the up until this point, and it could be completely I'll say this, it's going to be pretty consistent. The 11 people that we're going to talk about, I don't see anybody signing after them. That's going to make this list irrelevant, right? So these are 11 different scenarios, 11 different contracts, and I just want to get both of your opinions on, do you agree with the signing, or would you, if you were the GM in that situation, would you give that contract out, man? So without further ado, let me go ahead and get that bad boy up. Share this tab instead. All right. Starting with Travis Etienne.
4 years.
The New Orleans Saints gave Travis Etienne $52 million, man.
I don't think I'm doing that, man.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm doing that, man. And Etienne, and it's not, and there's no slight against Etienne, but how old is he? How old is Etienne?
I don't know. He's probably close to like 26, 27.
I was gonna say later 20s.
Right? Yeah. Because dude,
his brother's about 5 years, right?
His brother's about to get drafted, bro. So he can't be that young. You know what I'm saying?
So he's 20. He's 27. So all right,
he's 27. Okay, yeah, 27.
Yeah,
27.
So he's in the later parts, but I don't know, man. Like, a running back to pay $50 million for a running back. Man.
4 years, $52 million. Now, granted, that's, I want to say, what is that, like 13 or something a year or something around there? So that's just what the going rate is. It's just, listen, I'll say this. I'm happy that running backs got paid this year. Like, I guess people are starting to see the importance of running backs because
is Kamara not on the team anymore? Or
that dude is.
It says restructured Kamara's contract to free up space. There it says.
Yeah, that dude knows. Yeah, he knows what time it is, man. He knows, man. If you're paying somebody else $13 million a year, you know what time it is.
See now,
at your position.
See now, you talked about Willis to the Dolphins, right? And I get that. To me, something like this, a running back to the Saints, is that what the Saints need to spend 52 on? That's a hard pass for me.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part because I don't think the Kenneth Walker signing is on here. That's another one where he got a record deal. I think he got $30 million guaranteed or something like that. Matter of fact, let me pull that up.
He's going to the Chiefs, right?
He's going to the Chiefs, and it's just like I'm personally shocked, right? He got a $45 million deal. Let me see. How many years was it? Oh, how many years? Oh, God. Give me the contract details. Why y'all can't give me the contract details, man? Freaking stupid New York Post. So he got $45 million deal. I know it was like 28.5 fully guaranteed. I just want to know the length of the contract, though, because I'm shocked. The two teams that were supposedly in the running to draft Jeremiah Love both passed on Jeremiah Love. One took Travis Etienne. One took Kenneth Walker. And I'm like, what the hell did Jeremiah Love do to y'all? Like, I know we said we want to take him in the top 10, but I thought somebody would. Like,
he's gonna end up being a steal in the draft, bro, because who's going to really need him out of that in that top 10 now? Who's going to take him in that top 10 now?
Yeah, I have no idea. But I can't find the contract details, so it's no point in just getting caught up on it. All right, so next one. Mike Evans to the 49ers. The 49ers gave Mike Evans $20 million a year for the next 3 years. Man. Ooh,
bro, isn't Mike Evans a league grandpa? Like, this dude's been in the league for a long time.
This one is rough. Like, this one just screams Shaq on the Celtics, dog. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Like
I don't know about that.
he's not that old, but like Shaq on the Phoenix Suns still good. But like you see the tread, and he just came off of a major injury. So
Right.
And again, I'm shocked because some of these teams are acting like they can't get free agents. Like he's not going to the Panthers, he's going to the 49ers.
One of the Niners.
Like the Niners can't attract free agents.
Crazy.
Hey.
The team that was in the Super Bowl just a few years ago.
This one was pretty crazy. So we're all I'm passing, Rod's passing. What about you, Drew?
I'm good. I'm not mad at it because of the team he's going to.
Okay.
But if it was a different team, then it's a different story. But they had a lot of injuries last year.
Yep.
And I think he's a pro's pro. This guy's going
absolutely.
First ballot, and I think on that team.
And honestly, as long as Brock Purdy's been a quarterback, he's truly never had a number one receiver. Like me and Rod never fell for that Brandon Ayuk bull crap season.
Neither did I. Yeah.
That we knew like that was fool's gold, and people believed that for whatever reason. We knew that was not true. Yeah. Is this a true number one receiver, Mike Evans? No, this is obviously a diminished version of him, but he's still a good enough receiver that he understands the commitment and how to approach being a number one receiver week after week.
Now, a lot of their I didn't mean to interrupt you, but a lot of their skill position players like the McCaffreys, Kittle's coming off of a big injury that happened late in the playoffs. He's older, so it's now or never for the Niners.
Mike Evans last year was dealing with he had maybe one of his first years where he was dealing with injuries.
Correct.
The whole time.
He's about to, that's why given his talent, he's a Hall of Fame receiver, right?
I don't want for sure.
Feel like I'm being disrespectful, but to pay a guy who's going to be injury prone in his mid-30s, you know what I mean, $20 million a year, that's not the wisest investment. True. I understand if maybe they see a window this year with Purdy and what some of the guys they have. I don't know what moves the Niners plan to make. I don't know where they are in terms of whether they think they're rebuilding, whether they think they can still contend. There's a lot to be seen, with the rest of free agency in the draft. But to invest $20 million into a 30-year-old, mid-30s receiver,
man, wide receiver is the most ridiculous market. And it all goes back to when the Jags I can't remember his name, but the Jags absolutely destroyed the wide receiver market a couple years ago, and it has not recovered yet. Like, there's wide receivers that are making significantly more than other positions, but are not nearly as good as those players. So it's pretty crazy. And we have another crazy one that we're going to get to a little bit earlier. So, hey man, shout out to the offensive linemen. We don't know nothing about offense. We're not skilled enough in that department. Hey. So if anybody's giving you that much money, you got to be damn good at your job, man. And you're taking somebody away from the Bills, man.
Exactly.
So yeah, man. How about that? We're gonna go ahead and give a hand clap for that, man. Round of applause for that, man. Screwing the Bills, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, this is the one. This is outrageous. This is outrageous. We cannot be giving white wide receivers $114 million, $84 million guaranteed, when they had a career high 49 receptions the year prior. What are we doing? Shout out to Alex Pierce. Like, he is somebody who was labeled deceptively fast his whole career just because he's white. No, the dude is fast as ish. Like, he got track speed damn near. You feel me? He's fast. But how did we get to the point where his market got to $114 million, $84 million guaranteed? Wow. This is the most lucrative free agent wide receiver signing of all time. It's not the most lucrative lucrative wide receiver deal of all time, but the wide receiver who was a free agent who signed a contract, this is the most lucrative one. Alec Pierce should not be next to that. We should not be making history in that regard with Alec Pierce. What are we doing, guys?
Who's his agent, yo?
You know what, Herbie? I agree that the Colts should not have paid him that much, but on the other hand, too, he was kind of a guy they couldn't really afford to let go because
that's how it got up to that point.
They already lost up to that point. Junior, so they're I think while I don't agree with how much they pay for him, I get the signing because the Colts, especially if you're going to keep Daniel Jones.
I get the signing as well, and that's ultimately what it came down to. Because the way that the NFL works is you only could tag one person. That is the one thing that the NFLPA got right. I'm pretty sure that they had to fight tooth and nail that you could only tag one person. So when you make the decision to tag Daniel Jones, because you did not want to pay Daniel Jones $40+ million a year, you wanted to pay him $37 million a year. You said, okay, we could eat that. It made Alec Pierce a free agent. And once it became obvious that he was going to have multiple suitors, it drove up the price. And it got to the point where they were competing with themselves, but still had to compete with themselves. And to the tune of giving Alec Pierce $27 million a year. Well, this is nuts. But like you said, Rod, they had no choice. They had no choice but to pay Alec Pierce $27 million.
I'm not mad at the signing. I don't agree with the money, but I get why. I get it.
Now, again, listen, all jokes aside, this ain't my money, man, and I ain't a Colts fan. Hey, E, my boy E, we gonna ask you about this. I will be on tomorrow, man. We gonna talk about this one tomorrow, man, for sure. I'll stay up for that one, man. All right, this one, okay. All right, guys. True. Bro. Let me start with you, man. Would you give Jalen Phillips $40 million a year, man?
No. I mean, I thought again, I root for my Fins, but first round pick, it always came with injuries. It always came with almost sacks. I'm good. Good that he got his dough, though. He got the bag. Good for you, but for me, I lived that already. I know what there's there. And he's only going to get older. More injuries. I'm good.
Rod?
Hell no. I ain't giving up damn Jalen Phillips for 180 million. You want to talk about a guy, and True, you said it, bro. Jalen Phillips he's on the list of all time. Yeah. I almost got him. Players of all time. I've never seen a guy get so much hype for pressures and never actually make plays. The guy had 5 sacks last year, Herbie. The guy for the Dolphins has dealt with tons of injuries. And the Panthers, they're going to pay this guy like $80 million guaranteed.
$80 million guaranteed, man.
Panthers fans, I will tell you this. For the Panthers fans who may come across this, I'm a Dolphin fan. True's a Dolphin fan. We know this guy. What I can tell you is if he can stay healthy, you at minimum have a guy that can, and the Panthers do have some guys on their D-line. They have Derek Brown. It's not like they don't already have guys on their D-line. But Jalen Phillips ain't going to get you sacked. He'll get pressures. Yeah, sure. But he ain't going to get you sacked. And he's more than likely, and I'm not wishing this on him. I'm just basing it on my prior experiences watching him on my way. He's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt.
He's going to get hurt. So,
he's going to get hurt.
Listen, I find it hilarious because remember when the trade happened and he just instantly started balling. He had 3 sacks in his first 2 games, and then he had 2 sacks the next 6 games. And
Mr. Almost Sack Man.
Mr. Almost Sack Man got a whole bunch of almost sacks in those last 6 games.
Well, he got a big sack.
You got a huge sack. Jalen, hey, if you need to adopt me, man, you feel me? Listen, holla at me, dog. I could come over. I do the Google Gaga with the kids, whatever you need, fam, because you got a lot of money.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to let somebody hold something, please. But when it comes to this is the Panthers. The Panthers have no choice. Nobody's coming to Carolina unless you throw a ridiculous bag at them, and they know that. Jalen Phillips know that. It's the same thing that we see when it comes to the Dolphins. How many Dolphin players have we overpaid and they came here and did nothing? Jalen Phillips is literally Bradley Chubb, down to being the almost sack man. This is their Bradley Chubb. So, hey, congratulations. We wish you the best. Good dude. But Panther fans, buyer beware, man. Buyer beware. Trust us. All right, Wan'Dale Robinson. So, as a Giant representative, because we got your people that the Giant fans is in the chat, man. How are they feeling about this one?
He was very productive last year. He was look
Yeah,
at
he
him,
was.
92. You know, yeah, when neighbors got hurt, he stepped up. Um, as far as the Titans, this is good to get Ward a player like this.
Yeah, for sure. So
But as far as the team, then
this is what you do when you believe in your quarterback. You've
correct.
seen enough
You
in your
help him out.
quarterback. You feel me? You're like, okay, let's go try to get him somebody. And then remember, Brian Daboll is going to be his offensive coordinator. So I'm pretty sure Brian Daboll is one of the people that fought to get Wan'Dale Robinson and say,
Right.
hey, let's go get Wan'Dale Robinson. It's only $38 million guaranteed. If he could do that with Jackson Dart, had that kind of rapport with Jackson Dart. Now, granted, completely different quarterbacks,
Right.
But Brian Daboll was like, hey, he's one of those ones that we can get him for cheap. So he could easily be a good wide receiver too, going with the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I'm
All
not
right.
mad at this one though.
I'm not mad at it either.
Sorry.
I'm always in support again the young quarterbacks, some talent, man. All right, let's blitz through a couple of these. John Franklin, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Tyler Lindenbaugh to Las Vegas.
paid.
Tyler Lindenbaugh got paid 3 years, $81 million. This is $9 more million in the next offensive interior lineman. He's making $9 million more. He he didn't reset the market. He shattered it and completely changed the market. And this is the type of stuff I love to see, because when you force these teams to completely shatter the market, it lifts the well up. So more people are going to make more money down the line because of this contract for offensive linemen. So if you are an offensive lineman and you are a guard or you're a center, hey, don't cry, baby. Y'all about to get paid too. Y'all, hey, have a picture of Tyler Lindenbaum on all of y'all walls. Like, have a shrine to Tyler Lindenbaum. Say, hey, thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. He completely changed the market. He completely changed the mathematics on what interior offensive lineman can make, man. So, biggest contract for an interior lineman of all time, $60 million guaranteed. That's crazy. And obviously, Malik Willis was number one. We already talked about that in nauseam, man. So, yeah, man, free agency has been a complete doozy, guys. Absolutely crazy. I was legitimately shocked by free agency, man. So, let's go ahead and blitz through one couple thing, so we can get to the Sharon Moore thing before we get out of here. So, Giants correspondent, man. How Giants feeling about how they feeling up here, man? How they feeling?
Well, their biggest free agent was their coach.
Absolutely.
So that alone, right there, and I was a little jealous, you know what I'm saying? But I knew he wasn't coming. I always said the best.
Oh, and let me preface this first.
Go ahead.
This is a Miami Dolphins sports podcast, but one of our good friends, he's up in the East Coast, and he has a lot of people who are Giant fans. So we wanted to go ahead and so he could show love to his Giant friends, and you feel me, just talk about them for a brief moment.
The Giants are my football cousin. I grew up watching the Giants in the 80s. I respect them. I like the way they do business, and they stick to who they are. They may have had their past 10-year meltdown here, but they stay to who they are. I mean, the coach obviously was the big land, and from there,
for sure,
I mean, they signed Likely, the tight end, right? They got
Tremaine Edwards,
Tremont Edwards from the Bears, right? Yeah. I mean, so they're building. They got the 5th overall pick, also. So they got a quarterback that they believe in. They get Neighbors back. You got Scatterboo coming back too. They got a formidable defensive line. They're talking about this 5th pick possibly going after the corner from Ohio State or the linebacker.
Sonny Styles. Yeah.
The Giants are on the come up. I know you don't want to hear it.
They got Abdul Carter last year.
I don't need Sonny Styles, bro. I don't need Sonny Styles, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm just
get him
saying.
out of my division, man, please, bro. No. Abdul Carter and Sonny Styles, bro. That's nightmare.
Yeah,
for you,
I mean,
you
got Lawrence there. You got, I mean, there's a lot of potential with them. I mean, again, I'm a believer in your coach. You get the right coach in, it helps change the culture.
Yeah. And we just seen it with Mike Vrabel. Right,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So,
We've seen it with Mike McDonald. Absolutely.
Right. So you get the right coach in. To me, that was their biggest catch. And then you start adding these pieces. All right, you lose a Robinson, but you gain a Likely, who's a receiving tight end. So for me, and from what I'm feeling out here, they're beyond themselves. They like the direction they're finally going in after, and I'm tired of hearing them saying, "Oh, we haven't won a chip since." I ain't even saying a chip won. Stop it. I don't want to hear that. But
Yeah.
for them, where they're going with their signing the coach and the 5th pick, they're in good shape. They're in good shape. So
All right, man.
I'll say this. I'll say this before we.
You got you. Why? We already gave these bastards enough. Go, Rod.
All I'm gonna say,
it makes my stomach crawl and twist and turn.
Hey, be careful what you ask.
All I'm gonna say is that I think that, and Herbie, well, if your stomach as a Cowboys fan is turning now, it's about to turn even more. I think they'll be one of the surprise teams next year.
Don't say that.
When
Don't
you
do that
add,
to me.
because here's the thing, you have a motivated John Harbaugh, and you have a Giants team that talent-wise is we got to see what happens in the draft. But for the most part, they're going in the right direction, bro. So they might be that team that comes out the blue in the NFC, especially with the way, Jackson Dart might take that leap. I'm looking forward to watching the Giants next year, man. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Yuck. Ugh. All right. On a much more serious note, though, I want to go ahead and finish off the last conversation that we have, the discussion post, in regards to what happened with Sherrone Moore. So recently, Sherrone Moore had the charges that were levied against him dropped. And I'm not going to say the problem, but the reaction was predictable because we are a society of people that actively do not actually read. They take headlines and just take headlines. They don't click on the article. They don't do any kind of investigation. They don't get multiple angles to get ultimately a clearer picture of what the totality of the truth was, right? So there's a lot of people online, the manosphere, the FBAs, whatever. There's a lot of people online that are like taking victory laps saying that Shamar Moore was innocent this whole time. And I'm like, no, he wasn't, dog. Like, he ruined his life. Like, he nothing changed. The only thing that changed is the potential for him to not go to jail. And again, the reason why the charges were dropped is because he took a plea deal. He didn't go to trial. It was advised by the judge in the case to just take the plea deal and just get on with your life. The judge essentially said, and I'm paraphrasing, you look stupid enough, dog. What is jail gonna do? Like, the cops didn't even need to pursue this. Like, what? You already lost. You going to jail is just like, what's the point? Take this opportunity to be home, be with your family. Take the plea deal. Shamar Moore took the plea deal, and that's it. We washing our hands stuff. But because of this, there's this false sense of prosecution and being railroad that's being levied upon Sherrone Moore, in my opinion, that is partially correct because they didn't have to go that hard at him based off of the evidence and based off of what actually transpired. But it's also incorrect because, dog, you put yourself in that position. Nothing changed. You went to that lady's house, dog.
Everything that happened, that phone call she made to the police was real.
The phone call was real. You talking about you finna kill yourself is real. Those text messages happened. They are real. They were sent. All of that stuff happened. But because the charges were dropped, people think that it was a lie. Nothing happened. Oh, that white lady lied on him. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. And now, because his life is still going to be ultimately affected by this, basically for a very long time, the victim is now pursuing a civil case and looking to sue him. So this ain't ending. This ain't done. She's going to sue him and she's going to sue Michigan, bro.
Yep, exactly.
So, yeah. Yeah. I just hate when people don't actually read. Like, and to be fully transparent, I did the same thing. I made a post in regards to something that happened with somebody I've been seeing shared where he got his ass beat by our local police department, which is called Broward Sheriff Office, BSO. BSO, if you're black, is known to be really kind of prejudiced, have very, very, very racist tactics. So I
You
jumped
had
out
a
the
run in
gym.
with PSO years ago.
Oh,
That was so racist, bro.
it's so racist. We've had you don't know a black man who has not had a racist encounter with BSO. But I let my history and my past experience color my opinion on something because I myself didn't get all the facts. And I had a friend basically alert me to what the totality of what happened that didn't get caught on camera. And I said, you know what? I was wrong. Cool. I could say that and I could admit that. You feel me? There's a lot of people who are going to react to the story and don't know what actually transpired for those charges to get dropped. I am not trying to say Sharon Moore or Sharon Moore, however the hell this dude wants his name pronounced. I've heard Sharon, I've heard Sharon, whatever. I'm not trying to say that he is this evil dude, blah 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 blah. But I'm also not saying that the white woman was the system was trying to take him down either, dog. That's not what happened,
You
dog.
know what, man? I think this speaks to a greater problem in today's society, Herbie, and it's just the fact that we live in an era where we are becoming like people are starting to become boxed in, right? Like we're
Yeah.
starting to become boxed in because one, people are always looking at their phones. Our phone, like I have a coworker of mine. He's an older gentleman. He is not a fan of our current president, Hispanic fellow. He's a good
Right.
guy. But I remember there was a time when we were younger, right? When you were watching the news, you watched the 7 o'clock news, the 10 o'clock news, maybe in the morning, the 6 o'clock news, and then maybe you'd get a newspaper and you'd open the newspaper and get your news. It wasn't that you had access to this all day long.
All the time, yeah.
24/7, right?
We have access to these things all day long. So now people are filling their heads up and we are just constantly destroying, constantly flipping through emotional states like the old school cartoons that they used to draw and you flip through a book, right?
Yeah.
It's constantly like our minds aren't used to this. So now people see an article, people don't even have the time because we're moving so fast all the time. People don't even take the time to sit down and think about what they're reading, think about what's going on. As long as it fits a point you're trying to make, as long as it fits a
Your
narrative
narrative, right?
that fits you, as soon as you see it, you're just gonna run with it. And
Yep.
guess
That's
what?
it.
People are gonna run behind you. It's kind of like if you go to, let's say you're in a public place and you and a group of your friends just start running and screaming. You know what's gonna happen? People are gonna see you guys running and screaming, and other people who have no idea what the hell is going on, they're gonna start running and screaming. That's the internet now. That
Yeah.
is the world we're living in, especially on the internet.
Yeah, and trust
Right.
me, there's gonna be people that's gonna be like, you see, they're gonna watch our videos, and be like, bro, y'all was wrong. No, we weren't. Like, we went hard on Sharon Moore, but we wasn't even trying to go hard on him. He was just a vessel for a much larger conversation that happens that I would think would happen more often than not. And every time this happens, when you have a Sharon Moore or you have a Jonathan Majors or you have the countless of numbers of examples of this happening, when you have these, and again, it's an uncomfortable conversation because people want to pretend that race doesn't matter when it comes to these situations specifically, right? There's so much nuance, there's so much layers to why a person like Sharon Moore is in these situations with specifically white women. Now, it could be the self-hating side. It could be that's who you have access to, so that's obviously who you're going to fall in love with, whatever. But if you are in a position of power as a black man and you choose to date white women, there is a lot of responsibility that you have to be cognizant of because it's not the same. The rules are not the same. Clearly, even with this situation, the ramifications are not the same. They want to throw the book at you, dog. They want to throw the book at you. They threw the book at him to the point where the judge was like, nah, this is kind of ridiculous based off of what we have and based off of the evidence. Like, y'all overstepped y'all boundaries on how hard y'all wanted to prosecute this person.
Yeah, they wanted to put him under the jail for being overly emotional. Pretty much. Think about that. And you know what? That's the problem too, Herbie. And that's what makes these conversations like to a person like I'll be honest with y'all. When it comes to I'm a black man, clearly, obviously. But when it comes to racial conversations, I've always been one of those people who always find the shit tiring, even though I have a responsibility to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because for
Yeah,
me,
for sure.
race to me is as much of a social construct as many other things. And if you ask me what the biggest problem in America is, I won't even tell you race. It's class. I won't even get into that.
Yeah, and it's 100% class.
You,
You
you know
feel
what I'm
me?
saying?
That's
And race is something that they use to keep us fucking busy with each other. But
absolutely,
I ain't gonna get
absolutely.
into that. But what I
That's why
will
they killed
say,
Fred Hampton. That's why they
right?
killed Fred Hampton.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine 21 years old. They didn't even want them. They said as soon as you start drinking, we gotta kill you, right? But look, that's one of the problems when it comes to when you're covering, whether it's a black athlete, whether it's a high black figure. Whenever they get the opportunity, bro, they try to put these boys under the jail.
Yeah.
And that is partially what people celebrate when the fact that he's not going to jail. I get.
Oh yeah, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Those are two different things, right? And
Right.
sorry to cut you off, but because I want to specify that I am with them for seeing somebody who clearly was trying to get railroaded and put under the jail grossly, getting that W. But I also don't want that to be that he was the victim in this.
Right.
Right.
Because he was not. It was
Or at least the
his
primary.
decision to do all of this and for all of this to transpire. Going down to having the affair with the staffer who was related to somebody who works in the NFL. There was a lot of bad decisions that this man made that got him to this point. He deserves the embarrassment. Two things can be true.
Fact.
But it's because it's such a layered conversation, people don't, no matter what the person is, if you empathize with that person is the victim. He's not a victim in this. Just because we're both black men and I empathize and I understand his point of view, we probably had similar upbringings. I'm not going to make him the victim because of that. He got himself in this situation. The charges being dropped does not neglect or negate everything that transpired.
His actions, right? Yeah.
His actions. This is another example. Again, this is one of many examples. There's going to be 1,000 more Sharon Moores because people don't get it. The only person that gets it, and we make a lot of fun of him, but I will give him this. Robert Griffin III. He knows. He knows with great responsibility, with great power comes great responsibility. He knows. He is fully aware that he can't F up and do something to a white woman. Put it like this. I've been saving this joke for a long time. Doctor Strange in the 13,000 timelines wouldn't see Robert Griffin with a black woman, dog. Doctor Strange himself, and he can see all 13,000 timelines, would not see Robert Griffin with a black woman in any 13,000 timelines. Robert Griffin knows how to move in these situations because he's been doing it his whole life, and he's never effed up. A lot of these dudes F up because they forget that you cannot be a black man and do something to a white woman in this country. If this don't show you that that's the truth and that's the case, then I don't know what will. The judge had to say y'all was tripping to the prosecution and the cops. The judge had to say y'all out y'all goddamn minds. Yeah, man. So we can leave on that note, man. Oh, True, I ain't even let you talk, bro. My bad, bro. Like,
Yeah.
But you know what? Like,
it in.
because it's there's so many different layers to
absolutely.
this thing. Like you could peel the onion back on so many. Like Robert Griffin, that's his wife, right?
That's his second wife because he got divorced from the first one.
Wife
Yeah,
is the word.
Yeah, his wife.
This guy that's his side piece, right?
That's his side piece.
That's a big difference right there. Like now we're peeling a different onion back. I'm not saying that he should have been thrown under the jail or whatever, but you were that thirsty? Like, I don't know. It's like my cousin said, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Absolutely.
You know? And
absolutely.
It's just like, I mean, the heart wants what the heart wants.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
However, like, use your brain sometimes, and you just got a good opportunity, and now you put yourself in this situation to where, you know, your career could possibly, you might never. I don't know.
Your career's done.
Right.
You
Michigan, no less. It's like, I'm not saying that.
Sharon Moore is going to coach a high school.
Yeah.
He has to go to high school now.
Right. So.
And that, again, She's gonna sue. And she has
Right, correct.
so much resources to sue him.
Right.
This ain't gonna stop.
No.
This ain't gonna stop. But
Yeah,
with that though,
it's unfortunate. That's all.
it is all of it is unfortunate, man. But with that though, we can go ahead and get up out of here, man. Thank you, True. Always, bro. Appreciate
it's a
you so
pleasure,
much for
bro.
hopping in with us,
Appreciate
man.
you, brothers, no doubt.
Thank you, Rob, for being the best co-host in the world, man. Thank you to
You
everybody
too.
that was in the chat, man. Thank you for BB. Thank you for all the G, man. Thank you for all the Dolphins. And thank you for the fans. Out of there, man. We will see y'all next week. Deuce.